And now for some Freudian Quickies. You sent in your questions for an analyst, and I grabbed an analyst with an answer. How do you know a patient is getting better?
It starts with their ability to really show up in the room and that they are demonstrating certain parts of the treatment that we have been working on in their everyday life outside the room.
They seem happier. They're doing more of the things that they came to us for. The relationship feels deeper and things are moving. At the same time, there can be ways in which new inhibitions and new anxieties arise or other challenges. So it can be challenging to know.
I might have my ideas of what someone being better is, but if I'm sort of putting that onto them, then it's my definition of how they should be and not how they maybe want to be themselves in the world.
If the patient comes in because they're having difficulty in their relationships and their relationships are now better and working more smoothly, then we would say they're better. If a patient comes in because they have low self-esteem and as the treatment unfolds and they begin to discover there's more to them than they give themselves credit for and their self-confidence improves, then you could say they're better because that's what was the problem when they started, and now they're not as insecure as they were when they started.
Better is absolutely relative to the person. Some people are more prone to reality and concreteness and need a curiosity and a loosening of those things in their life and move towards that in a treatment. And others tend towards looseness and need much more concreteness. And when they can move towards that, moving towards what's been neglected is a betterment in the treatment.
To be honest, I don't really ever know. I tend to listen to what's happening, listen to the person that I'm working with, and it's like a mutual decision. So it's not something I think that I really know. I think it's something maybe we decide together at a certain point.
It's very difficult to know in the moment that someone has gotten better. It's usually only upon reflection can we really see it, which is perhaps always the case in analysis.
What do psychoanalysts think about non-traditional relationships like polyamory?
Some psychoanalysts are quite judgmental, and others, I think, hold a lot of space for all different kinds of configurations of relationships and desires.
I think that all psychoanalysts probably have very differing answers to that. I think a lot of people maybe aren't as, curious. And so they might come off as more judgmental rather than really trying to understand perhaps experiences that are different from their own. But I think there are more and more people in psychology and psychoanalysis who are really trying to sort of step out of their own box and to learn more about how others are, being in relationships in the world.
I met someone yesterday, for example, who was in a polyamorous relationship, who is a psychoanalyst. And I said, well, God bless, because I have a hard enough time negotiating one partner. I'm not sure how one negotiates two. So it really, I think, varies from person to person.
They see it as a valuable way to constitute new family systems, to form new ways of understanding what it means to have love and mutual care. It's something that I'm even beginning to research with colleagues at the Kinsey Institute on ways of training therapists in dealing with consensual non-monogamy. So it's an old frontier that feels like it's new again.
If you have a question, really any question for a psychoanalyst, send it to apsapodcast@gmail.com, and we will try to feature it in a future Freudian Quickie. For more information about the American Psychoanalytic Association, go to www.apsa.org. Till next time.